Now, outside our shores, U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday said that a ceasefire between Iran and Israel was holding shortly after he lashed out at both countries, accusing them of violating the truce. President Trump, who was on his way to attend a NATO summit in The Hague, posted to his Truth social app that the ceasefire is in effect. If it holds, the truce would be a big political win for Trump in the wake of his risky decision to send U.S. bombers over the weekend to attack 3 nuclear facilities in Iran that Israel and the United States say were being used to build an atomic bomb in secret. Trump had said the truce would be a phased 24-hour process beginning at around 0400 GMT Tuesday, with Iran unilaterally halting all operations first. He said Israel would follow suit 12 hours later. Let's take a look at this. Alexander Von Rugen is a policy analyst and site engineer. Thank you for giving us your time to speak on this matter. Before heading to that summit, the president told the press that he was particularly unhappy with Israel, which he said quickly violated the truce hours after it came into effect. Trump also said he does not seek regime change in Iran because he doesn't want to see chaos. From the look of things, will this ceasefire hold?
Well, we all hope it will, of course. The actions on the timing for the ceasefire being announced were really insignificant. The 2 missiles fired on Israel were taken out in the air, and the damage caused by Israel in a counterattack was took out a radar station in Tehran. There were no fatalities. In terms of Trump showing his dismay to Mr. Netanyahu, it's almost like good cop, bad cop. Trump wants to stay on good terms with Iran and especially his Middle Eastern partners. He used the opportunity to announce his disdain and then added that he's not supporting regime change. That's a very, very important statement because Mr. Netanyahu has expressly said he's not against the Iranian people, he's against the Iranian government, meaning he wants a regime change. It's a delicate subject for America because in 1953, America sponsored a regime change in Iran, deposing a duly democratically elected government that was nationalizing British and American oil interests and reinstalling the Shah as the leader of the country, which then ended very badly in 1979 in the Iranian Revolution. So he had to make that statement. It also supports Mr. Trump's statements in Saudi Arabia a little over a month ago, where he stated America's interest in the Middle East were not to govern or invade or control. They will do trade with any regime that is happy to do good business with America. And he wants to hold true to that. So he said a lot in that short statement to support other things he said over the last few weeks.
All right. Considering the fragility of the ceasefire, how appropriate was the Iranian president's address to the nation today, claiming they achieved a historic victory following the conflict which he described as imposed by Israel in celebration of the ceasefire and cessation of hostility in the 12-day war?
Well, what he's calling a victory is that they accomplished a ceasefire without acquiescing to the demands of stopping their nuclear program. This is not an unconditional surrender, which was demanded earlier by President Trump prior to his attack. So he needed to do this for national pride. He announced a victory, which I think in reasonable eyes, it certainly wasn't a victory of war. Maybe it was a victory of saving face. And in order to maintain that national pride, I think Iran has other problems of dissension within their own country.
Okay.
and he needs to stabilize that.
Let me squeeze this one in quickly. The White House maintains that the ceasefire deal was only possible due to the U.S. strike on 3 of Iran's nuclear facilities on Saturday. Was that really the defining factor in your view?
No, not at all. These are multifaceted diplomatic processes. The military action is a show of force and strength, which is, it can be the catalyst to reason, but you have diplomatic efforts, you have international input and mediation from other sources, and then you have the mutual interests of each country if they go further and continue the war. And I think those all were weighed out after the attack. If the attack was the catalyst to it happening, yes, it had a strong bearing on it, but it wasn't the complete reason that the ceasefire kicked in.
Alexander, thank you for speaking with us.